So the way we used to have it working was it would be locked until Era 3, but there were some issues with the way that ended up working. Really need to be able to do something about this. But yeah, it caused some issues with the way things work, so we just unlocked it and made it neutral at the start, which isn't the best solution. We're still trying to work out a way to make it locked without causing the issues it was causing. I don't even really remember what these issues exactly were, but they were annoying, and we want to fix them.
Reinforcements en route.
The airstrikers were actually, their stats were pretty much the exact same as the V-Wing. All the air units used to be incredibly powerful, and they're significantly weaker now, and also the fact that infantry can shoot while moving really does help them take care of air units. So we'll try to divide them, and hopefully the same way that we dealt with Zsinj, we can deal with this fleet. Because it looks like the Allegiance is back here. I think this is just a regular, that might be the Dominator. We've got a Lucre Hulk. So we might actually want to go up here first and then try to take out the Dominator. We'd intended Hailfires to be AA units, but then because of the weapons they used, they ended up being just anti-everything, so they're also getting nerfed. That's basically everyone's ground strategy down the toilet, Gull/Bane, whichever. Probably Bane, I'm guessing. Are you going to have events simulate the Imperial buildup? Well, there's a lot more story event stuff that we're doing in 2.2. Right now we're just focusing on getting the overall plots in, and then as we go we'll add more one-off individual missions. So the exact specifics of what they are we'll probably get into more later when we can actually show them off directly. Oh, it's Gull. I figured that the last I saw you had been playing the Pentastar alignment, Gull, and they don't have the air units, so I thought it must be Bane. ArcTrooper TIE Defenders are in the mod, so they're not going to be for any of the factions other than the regular Imperial Remnant. So they won't be available to Maldrood or any of the new Warlords. Alright, so we're going to let that go. So the Allegiance is over here. They've got a Lucre Hulk over here, so this is the Dominator. We should be able to take care of that pretty easily with this little fleet, and then we can swing in behind them and hopefully take out. We should have enough damage between all these ships to take out the Allegiance as long as we come up behind it. So we're going to bank on that. Okay, yeah, so that's from your Empire of the Hand playthrough before then? We do intend to do an updated version of the manual. We're also... we do have a wiki for the mod, and if there's anyone who wants to help contribute to that, even if it's just with the 2.1 information, that'll make it a lot easier for everyone to update it when it does come to 2.2. So that's thrawnsrevenge.wiki.com, I think. There's actually a link on the forum, so if you go there, there'll be a hot link subforum just from the main index that says Thrawn's Revenge Wiki. We have one for both Ascendancy and Imperial Civil War. The Ascendancy one, it's gotten invaded by spam bots for whatever reason, so we need to figure out what to do for that. But yeah, so there will be a regular manual, but there will also be that sort of extra resource for people. We're waiting until individual bits are done to actually update the manual. Otherwise, we'll just be lying to everyone if they read it. But that is definitely something we plan to do. Probably during the beta phase. So the beta will come out, then we'll be working on the manual while we take care of some of the whatever bugs get reported. And then we'll end up releasing the manual, and then we'll release the full version. That's the current plan. What are you planning to do with the newer orbital structures that you mentioned in today's episode? It'll depend on the specific structure, but there's some stuff like we do intend to have like a trade port, which is an economic structure, obviously. So sort of like a space mine. Then there'll be some that do population increase, hangar defenses, that sort of thing. There'll be at least one in the demo, so you'll get a bit more of a taste of different space structures in that. We'll probably do a news post outlining a lot of them too. Essentially deconstructing a lot of the purposes that the base game space stations were trying to serve, but didn't, like, it was just doing everything at once in a way that I wasn't super fond of. Because I've always felt like those kind of space stations that the base game had fit a lot more in a game like Sins of a Solar Empire, where you can have the individual structures and then you can also have those stations, but there's a bit better resource distribution, so the game just takes care of it a bit better than Empire at War does.
Our space station is under attack.
They didn't have a hangar that was as big as the other stuff, but from what I remember, they did have at least some hangar capacity. It was a smaller one, just shoved up in front of and in between them, but
direct fire at their laser cannon.
I mean, keep in mind, ARC 170s are a lot older at this point. So they're all right, but they're not as good as they were in the Clone Wars. Why can the Empire of the Hand capital shipyard build units while in battle? I think that was just an issue with the survival upgrades being put on the wrong version of the starbase. So it doesn't really actually build the units. It just it has the dummy upgrades from survival. Because I think Pox, there's supposed to be 2 separate versions of this shipyard, and I think Pox ended up putting them on the wrong one when we did the Empire of the Hand survival. The XQ is one of the things we intend to look at. Crap, they got a VSD up to the station.
Moving to sector. Carrick en route.
Yeah, way to go, Pox. There he is. You can blame him in person.
What are your orders? Moving to sector. Carrick commander here.
Alright, we're going to send all our bombers up.
Awaiting orders.
They're getting the VSD around. Actually, if you destroy these units, I don't care, because I'll just get fresh ones.
What are your orders? Nowhere to run. Come about.
No, we're going to lose that station now.
Reporting. Start laser
We might be able to kill this VSD, but
What are your orders? Charge laser cannons.
oh, there's another, the other one's still coming up from behind. Da da da.
How about a little help?
Da da da. It's like, see, for people who want more Clone Wars units, every unit currently on screen, except for these TIE bombers, is a Clone Wars unit.
Where are you? Gosh, I can't.
There's only so many Clone Wars you can have before it just becomes a Clone Wars mod.
Their shield generator. Someone cover me.
The problem with doing boarding abilities is you can only pass the one variable between tactical battles in the galactic map, so you can't really, it's not really that you're capturing that specific ship. You can't really have persistent capturing.
We have been defeated.
Because the way the Katana mission works is on the back end, you're essentially capturing the ships, and then it'll increment the variable, and then it'll spawn those ships.
System.
Like, you can't really make a bunch of different, from what I understand, you can't really make a bunch of different capturable ones. Right. Is this fleet that fleet might have to come out of hiding in. It's unfortunate that we lost our main shipyard.
Tactical battle imminent.
And, like, the only other ways that it can work, you're essentially making an ability that you have no control of. It'll just either really work or it doesn't. There's not a lot of interaction there, as opposed to, like, Zsinj, where there's some actual criteria that the ship goes through before it works.
Choose your reinforcements.
Moving.
We have no plans to do anything like the Sun Crusher. It's really just a planet destruction thing that's invincible. It's one of the more bullshit things that exists in the EU. It doesn't even have a secondary use really that you can give it. It's just an indestructible thing that flies through warships to kill them and then destroys the sun.
Enemy unit sighted.
I'm not a huge fan of planet destruction in EAW. I'll try to bring everything we can in onto that, what's it called? The Allegiance up there.
En route.
Right, there's the Allegiance actually. It's way in the back, so we're probably going to have to just go for it.
Moving to coordinates.
Alright, so these guys should be more than enough to take them out. They're doing a better job against the Secular than I thought they would. Let's try to get some of our bombers in the back here against the Allegiance.
Star Destroyer standing by.
Right, as long as this Allegiance is taking the brunt of it,
Missile
we're probably okay. How many fighters does the Neutron Star carry? It's 3 squadrons that the Neutron Star has. Okay, so their bombers are being taken care of pretty well. Got the Neutron Star, and this Allegiance can just start taking them on. Nuclear Hulk's dead.
Star Destroyer reporting in.
Right, Tector can actually come around and start firing on that now.
Our target priority is the laser cannons.
The Secular's not really great for ship-to-ship combat. It's pretty big, so it does have a fair amount of weapons, but now it's dead. And so it's not terrible, but relative to its size, considering it's the same size as something like the Allegiance, it's really not that great. Alright, so hopefully those shields hold. We'll try to just wipe out these weapons that are firing back as far as or as much as possible.
The lasers are our target. Our target priority is the laser cannons. Attack formation.
Alright, there we go. So the VSD is safe. And we can just take out the rest of this guy.
Yes, Commander.
So that's one of their assault fleets taken care of.
Are our target.
We've secured Roche again.
Our target priority.
Considering we were trying to get Garros 4 in the last set, it's not great. But we'll make do. Oh, there's a Quasar, that's why. Silly little Quasar.
Yes, Commander. Take down their shields. Firing. Setting up my run, sir. Intercepting.
Do they have... Oh, there's another Lucre Hulk up here.
Await
That explains it.
order confirmed. Go after the straggler.
Alright.
Round.
Why is it up there?
Heading to destination.
Well, we'll just go kill it anyways.
We're moving out.
This will definitely be a GC we have to use the defreezer in. Someday we'll make progress.
The lasers are
No, don't turn around and run. You can stay here.
Choose your reinforcements.
As far as whoever asked about Ascendancy stuff, we did just post the
awaiting.
the 5th faction preview.
Fire on the
So there'll be, I intend to do, once we have all the tech and a lot of the new art set up, I want to do a full news post, or a full, even just a preview video about all the changes to, or even just an outline of each faction. Again, because there's going to be a lot that changes within the factions, as well as all the things like random events and whatnot that we intend to do, or have done already.
Planetary control achieved.
Right, so we unfortunately have to rebuild entirely there. I'm kind of scared about Centauris now.
Ready to go already.
Thanos. We'll try to just drop these ships on top of...
Vehicle in production.
Vehicle in production.
Actually, no, these can be built anywhere. What am I doing?
Vehicle in production.
We'll get a Secutor,
Unit in
get some
production.
Gladiators,
Construction complete.
and well, we have no money for anything else. Levian 2 is now New Republic. So they're up here. They recently took Gravan.
Mauler ready. Ready to go.
Tactical battle imminent.
The VSD2, the Crimson VSD2s cost more, but they're also way better. So we don't intend to make each engine its own hardpoint. Like, one is usually more than enough on most ships. That'd really just crowd things up, considering a lot of ships have like
Ready. All out.
4 or 5 engines.
Uplink active.
The ISD has 7.
Orders received.
That'd make
Going there now.
almost half of its hardpoint just engines.
Moving to position.
So like larger ships will have
brigade standing by. Let's move out.
more engines, but like on anything smaller than a capital ship or smaller, it's really just going to be the one.
This way.
See if we can take out anything as it lands. Do we have more pods? We do have more pods.
Channel open.
These are jump troopers because they aren't dying properly. Why, if you give orders to attack a ship in front of it, turns 180 degrees around the map and not just moves straight? Because EAW's pathfinding is terrible, and it's essentially acting as if the hard points are separate entities, which they technically are. And the game is trying to find a way to make every hard point on the ship attack the same target, which if they all have the same ranges is never going to work. So they'll be... If they're trying to attack the same thing and it's farther away, it's always going to be trying to optimize that attack range, which it's never really going to be able to do.
Affirmative. Heading out.
And that's just how EAW is programmed.
Light vehicle factory destroyed.
Targeting. Call out.
Move out.
New coordinates. Roger that.
Can we get our infantry to come over and stop them from landing anything?
Let's move.
We've got to get all of our saber tanks together.
Go.
Like anything bigger than a victory class, the game starts having issues with either pathfinding or targeting.
Awaiting orders. Here's my sight. Keep going. Enemy is ready.
Don't shoot at me and
This way.
shoot at the flying destructo magnet.
Form up. Right away.
Copy. Over there. I'll copy. Rolling out. Moving to position.
Our base is
Oh, there's one.
Let's roll. Attack. Fire.
Right, so I think there was 4 that were left that I saw.
On my way. Moving out.
Roger that.
At least if we have this, they can't land anything else.
Reporting. Right away.
Yeah, the defreezer can be used as many times as it needs to be. We don't have much testing beyond one use, so if anything weird happens with people, if they want to report that, that'd be helpful. But it's essentially just resetting a counter. So I do know that some people have used it more than once for the same GC, and it's been fine, but it's hard to know with that small of a data set.
Unit destroyed.
Attacking target. Order acknowledged.
Moving out.
The freeze should also be less of an issue in this version, because
Brigade standing.
it was essentially counting even all projectiles,
Fall out.
and we've greatly reduced the number of projectiles and a bunch of other stuff.
Let's go. Keep going.
So the defreezer is there if it's necessary, but it should be less necessary. The raid fleets don't really know what factions are on the Galactic map. We'd have to make a different raid fleet for each
I copy.
GC for that, or a raid script for each GC, which is doable, but that would also mean that you have the potential to fight, like, to kill Admiral Akbar or whoever, like 4 times.
Just give me a target. Let's roll.
Unless we made it super rare. But we'd have to talk about that.
On my way.
Going there now.
Moving out.
Moving to position.
Where are they?
Right away.
Oh, there they are.
Order acknowledged.
No, that was the New Republic.
Heading out.
Heading out. Fall out.
Moving ahead.
Come out, wherever you are.
Let's go.
So far, what we've announced is that the Greater Maldrood and Pennistar alignment get the Bellator.
Over there. Rolling out.
Let's move out.
Moving to
So are they over here?
Let's go.
moving. Let's roll. On On my
I
way.
might have to just auto-resolve to take care of whatever. It might be over here.
Right away.
There we go.
Attacking. Heading out. Fall out.
So we'll go over here, just to group up, while the IDT destroys all their homes.
Let's move out.
Because we're taking away the whole 2 SSD start for the Pentastar alignment, so we're more comfortable giving them a buildable one, because you're going to have to build the Vengeance for Cisco. You're going to start with Reaper still, but Jarek and Jarek and the Vengeance have been separated. So you have to build Cisco with the Vengeance. Can I build another heavy factory?
Construction.
I'm going to sell the barracks and get an advanced factory.
Unit in production.
Then we'll build a bunch of extra stuff.
Cancelled. Vehicle canceled.
What we really need is a stronger fleet.
Constructing unit.
Star Destroyer reporting in.
I'm assuming the rest of the Warlords in Shinraido will get the Executor. Yep. So Zsinj definitely gets the Executor. We haven't announced it, or we haven't announced anything for the for Raido Authority yet. But considering that they built
Constructing unit.
the Nighthammer, it's a pretty safe assumption.
Beginning
No, yeah, because we need to upgrade that.
Beginning construction.
Actually, what we really need to do
Under construction.
is get more mines, because our income is terrible.
Construction complete.
Just terrible.
Construction complete.
My favorite unit is probably still the Phalanx Destroyer.
Approaching.
Victory cruiser ready.
You can't invade me.
Tactical battle imminent.
Wow. That is a lot of capital ships. You ever fix the auto attack? I mean, the way the game programmed auto resolve is complete BS, so you can't really do much about that.
Reinforcements en route.
Alright, so we'll just try to let him come to us, I guess.
Reinforcements en
This guy needs to get in the back.
Moving to sector.
This guy needs to get in the main line. And these guys
en route.
come up here as well.
Commander. Move out. Standing by.
So hopefully the VSD can still put out its damage without taking the focus of any fire. Alright, slow back down. And try to get these fighters out of the way while we still can. If we can send our fighters in first,
Let's go.
just so that they're not waiting for these ships to catch up.
Reporting in.
Bomber standing by.
Alright, just stay behind our ships actually, so that they get distracted. Oh, no, these guys aren't getting distracted.
Bomber squadron reporting.
Bombers really need those Architens.
Where'd he go?
Standing by. We're going in.
I'm on. Nowhere to run.
Try not to let one on your tail.
Falling out of formation.
I've got it lined up. Swinging around. I'm in range.
I mean, well, there's currently more allegiances on screen than you'd normally see in a cannon fleet, but we're not, like, we can't put in a limit where allegiances can only make up 10% of whatever you build. The AI is just enjoying them, and right now they are really helpful to us. So I'm also trying to focus a lot more on showing off the newer stuff, which, as far as capital ships go, is primarily the Allegiance and the Secutor.
The lasers are our target.
Especially considering the Allegiant, or the Secular got a bit more screen time in the last GC that we did, so I'm focusing a lot more on building the Allegiance.
Roger that.
The AI gets a lot of free money. It gets some free units, and the only real difference between early and hard, not early, easy and hard difficulties, or the primary one, is essentially how much it gets as far as resources. There are a few behaviors that change between the easy and hard versions, but it's primarily just unit costs, how often they'll attack or re-attack, and what they ultimately are, the resources they have to work with.
Going for their lasers.
Destroyer here.
Skipwing
Alright.
blast boat here.
Right, that Allegiance is down. Okay, so they're just going to cluster into one 3-inch area.
Target those lasers. I copy.
What a mess. We lost an Allegiance, but so did they. Right, if the Allegiance can focus on that one,
Armed and ready. Bombs deployed. I have the target. Weapons
if
charged.
these guys can focus on that one,
Targets. So little time.
this guy can turn around. Okay, so at least this ISD is still alive. There's still that ISD up there. If these guys... Actually, if this dies, I'm okay with that, because we're going to get a fresh one. You can focus on that. Okay, I'm going to keep sending the bombers after the Allegiance, and just get our Allegiance to focus on this guy. Actually, I'll get our Allegiance to focus on this guy, the Gladiator, and the Architens can come focus on this.
They've got us targeted. Intercepting.
You do a Heroer class? Kind of old. Only a few thousand years off.
How about a little help?
It's actually pretty snowy out right now.
Can anyone else see him? Commencing attack run on their shield.
That's why I don't want to go outside.
Star Destroyer reporting in. Target those lasers.
Where are you?
Take out the iron cannons.
Reporting. Advancing on target. Weapons online.
Yes, Commander. Our target
Okay,
priority is
so we're good.
cannons.
We've managed to hold them off once more. We lost an Allegiance again. They lost 2.
Lasers are our target.
And we've only killed, I think, one of their Lucrolks, maybe 2.
Is the laser
So there's still 5 more.
I've spotted them.
That sucks.
reporting?
I really hate the snow. Alright, so that's all good.
The enemy has been defeated.
How many Lucrolks did we kill? Did they just not want to waste the rest of them? Oh, they all just jumped in too.
Constructing.
So they just started jumping them in way too late. That's all.
Construction complete.
Alright, I really need to build up that fleet at Thanos more. Can the Hapes fleet lose anything? Not really. I'm not liking the look of all those Lucrehawks over there. The Emmer fleet can't really lose anything either.